Okay, I'm barefoot first. Can you hear me barefoot, Bobby? Hey, Bobby Boucher, can you hear me barefoot, right? I said Bobby Boucher, I was barefoot. I guess you couldn't hear me barefoot, huh?
Well, I got my, no, I didn't hear you, but that could be my fault. I had my RF gain turned down.
Oh, well, let me go barefoot again. Try this. All right, here's barefoot right there. Bobby Boucher, Motor Mouth Mall. We're going to barefoot in Mobile right here, right now. Break, break, break.
Yeah, I'm barely being able to even hear something. I can't really make out what you're saying, but yeah, I think we're about 8 miles away, but the receive on this radio is not that great, so, you know.
My barefoot is a little bit over a quarter of a watt, maybe about a half a watt dead key, and about maybe 6 watts, maybe about 5 or 6 watts PEP. So I would imagine that would be a difficult thing to do. Okay, sounds good. Well, I'll go ahead and turn the amplifier back on here again. And there's the amplifier on. That should make a bit of a difference. What do you think about that there, Break?
Yeah, that's good. You're keying 8 pounds and swinging to 9, so... yeah, that's good. Yeah, the receive on this radio, you know, I mean, the electrical noise, I get the EMI crap from this truck, and these trucks have like 20-some-odd computers and all the electrical wires and everything else, and so I get a lot of noise, but, yeah, I'm getting in good now.
Roger. Hey, you know what I noticed on my SDR receiver I never noticed before? A lot of weird changes in levels and noises in the background, like I don't know, like AGC not working quite right. How does the audio sound in your receiver as far as background noise and audio and levels and all that stuff? Is it changing, fluctuating, and sounding all weird and like an AGC is doing something strange in the receiver? Or does it sound pretty normal, just like, you know, a wider band power mic on a radio and no background noise or anything like that? How's it doing there, Brick?
No, it sounds great on this end. I'm not hearing anything weird at all. It could be an anomaly in the SDR receive or something. You know, over here it sounds really good.
Roger, yeah, that's what I notice on the SDR. Whenever I'm in town, like by my house, you know, like 4 miles away or farther, it's pretty good. But the closer I get to my receiver, the more horribly distorted and wishy-washy, and it even gets to the point where it sounds like it goes from bass to mid-range to treble to noise to no noise to... It's really strange how it does as I get closer and closer to it. So, yeah, some sort of an anomaly with the SDR receiver. And it does that with everybody's signal, so I guess I'm not too worried about it, but I kind of like the Drake. The Drake used to work pretty good all the way up until the point where it got kind of overdriven and saturated, you know. So anyway, this gate right now is being made on the SDR, and you sound really good on the SDR. I don't know what I'm going to sound like, but after a minute or two, I'll go ahead and drive up and I'll switch to the base station and see how that all goes there, Break.
Yeah, 10-4. Yeah, I'm curious to see what my signal looks like on that. I should be about 5K wide. That's how I have my system set up, and I'm pretty confident it's about that bandwidth, but the SDR doesn't lie, you know. The other thing, you know, running that much power that close, you know, those antennas and the receivers on those SDRs are easily overrun, you know, and you can get attenuators, but then you wouldn't be able to hear people out in the distance, so that could be what it is.
Yep, that's so true. Absolutely. And, yeah, it's touchy. It really is kind of touchy. So, anyway, yeah, I don't want to sit out here and bombard it too awful much, but I'm going to go ahead and mosey back to the base. I won't key up again until I get to the base, so I won't key up near the receiver, but I'll be back in just about a couple minutes.
Joe.
Okay, I think I'm on the bass. I think I should be on the bass. Okay, yeah, I'm on the bass.
Yeah, there you go. That's the audio I'm used to hearing.
10-4. Yeah, this is just the $34 microphone from Wish.com, of all things. And, yeah, it seems to work pretty good.
Yeah, 10-4, it's definitely doing the job. You sound excellent over here. Well, I tell you, I watch your gates all the time, and it's always nice to hear it live. It definitely sounds better live.
10-4 and better live than dead. Absolutely. I just had the receive amp on the SDR set to 0, and I just added a little bit of gain. It won't change the S meter or anything, but what it will do is bring a little bit more of your signal up into the pan adapter. I wasn't catching a lot of it, so I should hear more, see more of it now.
10-4. So you're not getting me in all that well up there right now?
Oh yeah, you're 7 or 8 S units, but it was it looked rather narrow, but it was because I was only seeing a part of it. But oh yeah, I'm getting you in here good.
Okay, yeah. What does it look like? It looks like I'm filling up the channel there. Total bandwidth of 10K.
Yep, absolutely beautiful. Yep, filling up the channel. It's nice roll off at 10K. Good 5 kilohertz of audio and good tonal balance. I have. Let me see here. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm going to try something here. I got a playback. And we'll give that playback a shot and see what happens.
10-4, it's definitely doing the job. You sound excellent over here. Well, I tell you, I watch your gates all the time, and it's always nice to hear it live. It definitely sounds better live. Okay, yeah. What does it look like? It looks like I'm filling up the channel there. Total bandwidth of 10K.
Yep, absolutely. Beautiful. Yep, that's where you are. 10K wide total.
10-4. Yeah, that's, I set this gate up this morning. My monitor radio in this truck is starting to take a crap. The receive section's doing something weird. It gets garbly and weird, and so I just went through this morning and set this one up, but yeah, the high frequencies were the other thing I was wondering about. Does it sound oversaturated or sibilance, or does it sound pretty clean? What do you think?
I think you got it dead nuts perfect. It sounds awesome. Good, clean, clear, crisp highs. No sibilance issues. No shishing on the highs. A good, powerful, clean bass. I think it's perfect to break.
Yeah, 10-4. Good deal. Yeah, I'll just save this one and mark it so I don't lose it and screw it up. But yeah, you know how it is. I mean, it's nice to get something set up that you can use and have a go-to chain. This is completely new right now to me in here because, like I said, I barely just finished setting this thing up. I still have a little bit more to do. I got my patch cable going from the back of the interface going to the radio. It's too short, so the inside of this truck is completely different from the other truck. So I had to shoehorn things in where they probably shouldn't be, but I got a cable on order. I'm supposed to get it this weekend, and yeah, I'll be able to get that thing in there and get it finished up this weekend.
10-4. Well, in my opinion, you've got the best sounding mobile I've ever heard in my entire life, and it sounds perfect. So whatever you're doing over there, shoehorned in or planned or not planned, hodgepodged or not, it sounds perfect and beautiful. So yeah, you got it going on over there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do in a little bit. After a key or two or three, I'm going to go ahead and switch. I'll keep running the gate. Oh, is that going to work on this thing? Yeah, I think it will. I'm going to keep running the gate, but I'm going to switch receivers over to the, this will be a test in two different ways. But anyway, I'm going to switch over to the Cobra 29LX receiver instead of the Flex 1500. So we'll see what happens here in a little bit. The problem is I don't know if that's going to route the audio for the record on the video gate as well as the audio on the computer record, or both, or not. I know it's going to change it on the computer record, but I don't know if the computer record, it's been a little while. I rewired this whole thing, and I forgot whether I made the audio feed to the video gate the same audio feed as the selector box feeding the computer. So anyway, we'll find out, I guess, when we find out when the gate gets done. But anyway, for the next couple keys, I'll stick right here.
10-4. Yeah, it's cool. You can switch things up like that, and on the Drake, and you can choose the bandwidth. That's pretty cool. But you said you got just a standard receive LX in there?
No, the LX has the wideband mod on it. By the way, while you were keyed down that last time, I switched between 10K, 5.2K, 3.1K, 4K, so you could hear a little bit of the difference on there. And I know that those changes are reflected because I know that the video game machine is definitely recording off of the Flex right now. I just don't know if it's going to be recording out. Well, I know how to do a test. Here, I'll do a quick test. I'll see if I flip the switch right here. Yeah, go ahead and give me a count. Let me just see what happens here on this display when I flip the switch while you're talking.
10-4. All right, quick little gate test of the different receive settings on the bandwidth. This is Bobby Boucher, right around Santa Maria, California, in this 18-wheel mobile. Getting out on this blue Spark SL studio mic. We're doing this little gate. Radio check, audio 1, 2. Radio test, breaker.
Okay, it appears that worked. It looks like the water gate on the computer gate and the video gate both record off of the selector switch. So I've got it recording my receiver now off of the 29LX, which has the C33 and C40 modified to 2.2 microfarad capacitors. And my audio is still being recorded off the Drake. And I can also record my audio off the Flex. Let's see here. If I do this right here, now my audio is being recorded off of the Flex. So I can change up which source of audio feeds the computer or the video gate during transmit and receive, and make them separate from each other. Anyway, I'm going to go this one here, and I'll leave it on the Cobra, and I'll go out to my mobile and record my mobile and your mobile on the 29LX and see what happens. Bobby Boucher, Motormouth Mall, right here, right now. I got down.
Joe, Mr. Motormouth Mall. Okay, I'll be standing by. We're gonna go ahead and get to the side here. I gotta get going in and go check in a minute. About a half an hour or so, just to let you know. But we'll be listening. We'll be waiting. We're gonna stand by. Bobby Boucher, this 18-wheel mobile, and I'm back quiet.
Okay, I'm back mobile again, and now we're receiving, you and I both, on the 29LX instead of the Flex 1500.
Yeah, 10-4. Per our past conversations, I believe I'm about, 8 miles from you?
Yep, 10-4, that's about right. You're off Stoll, right?
Yeah, 10-4. I'm out here at Boney Pack, just across from the animal shelter.
Yep, about 8 miles as the crow flies.
10-4. What amplifier are you running in your mobile now?
This is the 2x8 with 22879 red dots driving 82879 red dots. And no overmodulation in the negative peaks, and roughly 1,000 watts not pushing it real hard. About 1,000 watts on the positive peaks, as per the bird watt meter.
Yeah, 10-4. Yeah, I'm still just running my little 667. I'm still doing actually just a little bit under 400 watt peaks. I would say probably closer to 375, 380 watts. On occasion, I'll see a 400 watt peak, but very rarely. I tried to get my 16 back in here with my 350, and it just would not work. There's some kind of imbalance, an impedance imbalance, and there's an oscillation thing going on with the carrier, and the SWRs just run all over the place. And so, yeah, this is what I got for now.
Well, what you got for now is working really, really good. Man, I wish Grandpa Jones was in here to hear you. Maybe he wasn't here earlier before I got here. Have you talked to Grandpa Jones since you've been in town?
No, I've been looking forward to it. I know you set him up, and I'm looking forward to hearing that modulator on that big bassy voice of his. I'm sure, the gate sounded really good, but it always sounds better in person.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll see if he's out here real quick, and then I'm also going to give him a quick call, because I know you're not going to be out here real long, so let me see if I can give him a call and get him on the air.
Yeah, 10-4. Yeah, we'll be here for the rest of the evening. I just got to go get checked in, and then I'll get called into a dock, and it'll be a couple hours. I'll have to be silent there, but I don't know how late you guys are going to be on, but I'll be here.
Well, I'll probably be out here not nearly as long as everybody else. I'm going to probably be leaving the station at probably about 4:30 or 5 o'clock. But yeah, let me give Grandpa a call real quick. I'll be right back. All right, he'll be out here in a little bit to break.
10-4. Hey, real quick, John, while I got you on, did this audio, did it sound pretty decently loud? I know I'm not putting that much signal strength on you, but trying to get some good, decent loudness there. A little bit of, I don't know if it's punchy. It's punchy's tough. I mean, you can get punchy in there, but it'll start pumping. But a little bit of punch in there is pretty good.
Oh, it's absolutely loud. It's got a big, full, rich, bodacious sound, and so I would definitely say you've got the effect that you're looking for. Definitely, it's a good, heavy, clean, clear, punchy audio there, Break.
Yeah, 10-4. Good deal. Yeah, that limiter that I'm using at the end of the chain catches those peaks and adds a little punch. I like it.
Oh yeah, good deal. Oh, that's so. How elaborate is your chain now? How many things do you have running from mic pre all the way to the output of the processor?
It's a little bit crazy. Not gonna lie. I've got background issues to deal with this studio mic, condenser mic in this environment. It wasn't designed for. So I've got a gate and 2 downward expanders and a noise suppressor. So that's 4 plugins right there, just to control the background noise. I've got 4 equalizers, 2 compressors, a limiter, and a reverb.
Wow, what a trip. Very cool. Well, that's a whole slew of downward expansion and noise gate and noise suppressing stuff there. But yeah, I understand exactly what you're talking about, and the difficulty in trying to get background noise out of a environment there, definitely. And I have the same problem with this damn Jeep. And the more you try to raise the average percentage of modulation, the more difficult it is to try to control that stuff. So you got to draw a line somewhere. It's easy to try to get over the top there, you know. Anyway, Grandpa Jones ought to be out here shortly. See if you can get a grip on him, Motormouth Mall Mobile, right here, right now.
Hey, Motormouth Grandpa is out here. Good evening, Bobby.
Mr. Grandpa Jones, good grief, man. You sound excellent. You sound like you just crawled into this truck.
Oh, bless his heart. Yeah, I owed all the Motormouth Mall his modulator box and his voice processor by the professor and a good set of antenna tuners there, Break.
Yeah, 10-4. Yeah, I heard a gate of you quite a while ago, and I was looking forward to getting over here and actually talking to you, man. Congratulations on that. That sounds amazing.
Well, like I say, I owe it all to Motormouth and his technology. But anyway, Bobby, I just wanted to jump in. The mall just called me on the landline, told me you were in town, and you're sounding bodacious as always, every.
Yeah, 10-4, I appreciate it. Well, we'll be in town for the rest of the evening, so if you want to get back on a little later on, we'll be out here.
Roger that. All right, Bobby, appreciate the bump down, and I'll get back out of here and let Motormouth get back to you. Motormouth, thanks for the break. Appreciate the call.
Hey, don't go too far away. I'm going to get on the base. I want to change receivers and record some more of you on a different receiver, but I'm getting really close right now. I got on key.
I do. Well, I certainly will, comrade. Have you heard Bobby Boucher today there, comrade?
I've been listening to Tim talking to Tim Nashville and Motormouth also got him to my
Roger that.
Oh, well, I just thought I got to agree with that last second. I know.
Well, that's okay, comrade. I don't know anybody out of that would rather have me give a bad time than you. I mean, give me a bad time. All right, comrade, catch you in a bit.
Okay.
Hey, Grandpa and Bobby and Copperhead, I'm on the base now, and I'm recording now off of the SDR receiver now instead of the Cobra 29LX.
Alrighty, I'll be quiet. Catch you later, Motormouth. I'm clear.
Sure can't wait to get you back on the modulator radio. All right, there, Copperhead. Sounds good. We'll catch you back in a bit. Grandpa and Bobby Boucher, I am on the SDR receiver now.
You're on the SDR receiver, Motormouth. I got you good.
Yeah, 10-4, it sounded good over here, Mr. Motormouth Mall.
Man, you and Grandpa look and sound really wide. That's awesome. Very, very cool. And by the way, I'm out 6.5 kilohertz, Bobby. I don't know if you can hear what's going to happen, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to walk my way down to, hang on. Okay, I'm at 6.5 right now. I'm going to walk my way down here to 5.5. There's 5.5 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll go down to 4.5. There's 4.5 right there. So I narrowed it up to about 4.5 kilohertz. There you go, Motormouth Mall right there right now.
Yeah, for me on this receive, you sounded best at 5.5. 6.5, it sounded good, but it didn't have as much, it wasn't as dense, but that's expected. At 4.5, you definitely lost a lot of those highs. They definitely rolled off there, but 5.5 sounded really good.
Roger on 5.5. Okay, well that's where I've got it right now at 5.5, and I could do another version. I go to 10. Here, watch this. This is going to be really wide. Actually, it's 9 kilohertz right there. That's 9, and yeah, sibilance. Probably too much highs. So I'm going to roll it back down here to 5.5. 5.5 right there, and that'll be a happy medium there, Brady.
Yeah, for the receive on this radio, of course it's going to be different for everybody's receive, but on this particular radio, it sounds better at 5.5. You get a lot more density in there. You get a lot more weight and clarity, and the highs are a little bit cleaner and sharper.
Yeah, 10.4. I'll switch between 5.2 and 10K and 6.6K and 8K on your next transmission so you can hear what it sounds like on the SDR, the break.
10.4. Yeah, the way I have this one set up, I've got two linear phase equalizers at the very beginning of the chain, and I'm high passing at 47 hertz and low passing just under 5K. It's like 4,900 hertz or something like that, somewhere around there. But, the frequencies, they move out a little bit from there, but it should be right about 5 kilohertz wide.
Yep, 10.4, and it is. I varied it all the way from 10K down to 8, 6.6, 5.2, 4, 3.1, 2.9, 2.4, then up to 12K and 16K, and then back at 10. And I like your audio myself, personally. I like it best at 10. Although it sounds fine at 5.2, but I like it best at 10, but that's just the way like you say, every receiver's a little bit different, and my ears are a little different and all that, but very cool, man. It is good to hear you out here. It was a real pleasure with the whole, I was doing some testing. I was finishing up doing some testing in the truck. I was on the dummy load, and I switched over to the antenna, keyed really fast, and when I unkeyed, I forgot I had switched over, I didn't switch from the dummy load over to the other thing. I just turned the amplifier off, and anyway, I heard your voice. I was like, oh, right, son of a gun, look at that. So I went over to the antenna, and, and there you were. So it's been a long time since you've been in Santa Maria, and it's good to hear you up in there.
Give me 18 3/4.
18 and what?
3/4.
Is that S units?
Oh, dB or whatever the hell you guys were talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah. Kilohertz, 10 kilohertz. His audio band passes about 5 kilohertz of audio, which is eating up about 10 kilohertz of RF, which is pretty much exhausting the capabilities of a standard receiver in wideband mode, given the fact that there's another channel above and below us. So anyway, yeah, he sounds good. And you sound good too there, nobody.
Oh, Roger. All right, I'll let you guys get back. I just thought I'd make a smart aleck remark. What the hell?
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Well, good. You've learned to know me well.
Well, all right then.
Good afternoon, Bobby Boucher. 000.
Mr. 000. Good grief, man. It's been a long time. How you doing? Are you on the mobile out there?
Nope, I'm at home. Just can't get back in the heat.
Okay, are you barefoot?
Nope. Running about 350 watts.
Okay, it must be where I'm at. I'm sitting kind of sideways to you. I got buildings and stuff around me. I'm not getting in like I normally do, so yeah, it's probably on my end.
Yeah, you're only hit me about a 5, so yeah, wherever you're at, you're not in a good place.
Yeah, 10-4. I think normally I'm right about 9 S units on your receive over there, so yeah, it's probably where I'm parked.
Yeah, Roger. I'll let you and Motormouth get back at it. I heard you in there. Just wanted to say hello. And you have a good day. We'll let you get back at it.
Roger, Triple. All right, man. It's good talking to you. Yeah, Mr. Motormouth Mall. Yeah, I heard you keying up there for a little bit when I was trying to get back to you, and I figured you were doing something without your receive on or the volume down or something. But yeah, I was glad you finally recognized I was out here, man. I didn't think I was going to get a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, 10-4, that's exactly what I was doing. I was messing around, and and there you were. So, by the way, I was returning a text to let a guy in Australia know that the modulator board is on its way. And, Google has this auto, it automatically figures out words and spells things for you and all that. Well, I responded, the first word I typed, awesome, and I was going to put an exclamation point, and Google said, mate. It's like it knew I was talking to somebody in Australia.
Yeah, 10-4. Well, that's perfect. At least, it went this way, not the other way, and sent something that you'd have to explain yourself.
Well, that could be bad.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Motormouth, who are you talking to in Australia there, Break?
Oh, a guy named Ray. He purchased a modulator board.
Roger, Ray. All right, good for him. Yeah, that 148 in Queensland is the only one I've talked to down here, but that was long time ago.
Roger D. Yeah, let me just type this thing out really quick here. I'm trying to fight Google.
Oh.
Well, how you been there, Mr. Grandpa Jones? It's definitely been a while. How's everything going on your end?
Oh, pretty good so far. Just getting older by the day. 81 last May. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be around, but I think I've outlived, what's his name? James Fonda's daddy. He passed away a couple days ago at 79. So I made it past him.
Yeah, 10-4, Peter Fonda. Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, he had a long life, that's for sure.
Yeah, Roger and Peter. Yeah, that's him. Fonda. Yep. And, of course, we all know Jane from back in the day when she was broadcasting for the North Koreans when we were in the war. Boy, I'll tell you, there's a lot of people that remember that, but they're dropping away day by day, though. The more the time goes by.
Yeah, that was a bad deal. I mean, I remember there was a lot of Vietnam vets. Boy, they really didn't like her at all, or Korean vets. Yeah, that was basically borderline treason.
Roger that. Yeah, that's what everybody thought. Yeah, it was the Korean, I think, and not the Vietnam. If I'm right, I think I am on the Korea. But anyway, Bobby, you sounded good. When are you heading back to Kingman?
We'll probably be taking off in the morning. I don't know what time, but I don't know. Figure probably around 6 a.m. we'll be headed out.
All right, on 6 a.m. All right, let's get back to Motormouth. Good to hear you, Bobby, and I appreciate the talk.
Joe.
So anyway, yeah, I guess things are getting close over here, Bobby. I haven't quite got up here yet, but I got got the house, since we last talked, the house is now on its foundation. It's now married together. You can walk through it. I built the stairs and a little porch, temporary, which is going to be, until we get the deck and all that done. Got the water line and the gas line pressurized and tested today. They'll be inspecting it tomorrow, as well as the electrical ring-out test to make sure that all the outlet grounds tied to the chassis. And so anyway, that's all good. And I'll be renting a ditch witch probably tomorrow or the next day, and trench in the propane line. And then probably Friday or Monday, I'll be purchasing all that damn wire and get the electrical done. So progress jumps by jerks, Brady.
Yeah, 10-4. Well, I'm glad to hear it's moving along. Yeah, you'll have to send me some pictures. I'd like to see what you got going so far. How much longer do you think it's going to be? Another couple months, maybe?
Yeah, probably a month and a half or two. Hopefully not much longer than that. I'm really chomping at the bit to get in here. I mean, it can't happen soon enough. But, yeah, probably a month and a half or two.
Yeah, 10-4, I bet. Yeah, it's been, what, a year or so that this has kind of been started? I know you started way earlier than that, but when the wheels started turning, it's been close to a year, hasn't it?
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I guess it was around October that the thing finally showed up on the property, and I've been storing it here ever since, and at the same time, pulling permits and getting work done, getting inspections done, all that stuff, the dirt work, the septic system and the leach field, and, all that rot. It's been taking a long time. It's been a long process. I never would have thought in a million years that it would have taken that long. I mean, I don't know. It just, it seems to me that if you pay for everything in cash and you own everything outright, and the work to put it together and to do it all is not that incredible. Nothing's complicated. Why would it take that long? But, that's the way it is.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly right. That's the way it is with everything these days. I mean, people and companies and governments tend to really overcomplicate the most simplest things. And, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, on a different level, of course. But what I'm doing out here, you'd think taking a shipment and getting unloaded and then going somewhere and picking up a load would be, black and white and straightforward. But it's always a complicated mess, and it always takes 10 times longer than it should. But, that's the way life is, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we all got to just get used to it. There ain't nothing we're going to do that's going to change it much. I just realized I'm monitoring my audio on the Drake receiver at 4 kilohertz. Let me switch over to 6 kilohertz on the Drake. That brightens it up a little bit in my headphones. I can hear your highs. I can't tell for sure. It sounds like you've got headphones up just a little bit, and I hear a little bit of this. I hear just a little bit of like feedback from the monitor. The highs sound great. Don't change the highs. It just sounds like there might be a monitor turned up a little bit too loud.
No, I don't have a monitor in here. What does it sound like, a whistle when I say my S's?
Yeah, just a borderline whistle on S's, and I thought it was a feedback-related thing. But it's so minuscule, and I wouldn't worry about it. And if you turn the highs down much, you're going to lose that sizzle that you've got.
Yeah, 10-4. Yeah, it's tricky. And I actually do, when I'm setting it up, I try to get it as sharp as I can and as clean as I can. And that whistle is kind of the benchmark I shoot for, because if I hear that little whistle in there, then I know that it's sharp and clean. But, I guess it could get a little bit annoying on some people's receive. It doesn't sound like sibilance to you?
No. It's okay, actually. It's really not that bad, and it's certainly not annoying. I was just, I didn't know if it was being caused by a monitor or by the actual processing and levels themselves, but, I wouldn't change much, and, I certainly wouldn't want to pull them down any to try to get rid of it. I think it's just part of it, and, it's sort of a good, I think you got it set up about right. I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah, 10-4. Yeah, I do have some ferrites in here that could be getting into the audio, as far as that sound. Because I've got ferrites strategically placed around the inside of this truck, and they like to sing. And, I get in there and I wrap them with electrical tape and do all kinds of things to kind of subdue it, to dampen that vibration that you get coming through the coax. But, there could be some of that getting in there.
It's so negligible. At 8 kilohertz wide bandwidth, it's barely noticeable. At 10 kilohertz, I can hear it. At 6.6, I cannot hear it. So 90% of the people you're going to talk to aren't going to hear it at all. And the people with 10K wide IF, they might hear it a little bit. And I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, you'll hear it on the gate. I switched it a couple times from 10 kilohertz down to narrower and then back up to 10 again. You can hear the characteristic, but I wouldn't try to cater to the narrower band radios any more than you already are. And the wide bands are definitely going to hear that and say, "Wow, that sounds good."
Okay. So you're saying that it's on the more narrow bandwidth, it's more noticeable?
No. It's less noticeable on the narrower bandwidth. Once I narrow it up, the highs, you can even see on the pen adapter, the stuff out around 5K, is kind of a peaky. Maybe it could even come down 3 dB or so. But again, I wouldn't start nitpicking it too much, because if you pull that down, see some of that you're hearing at 10K, if you pull that down just at 10K, which is 5K in the audio realm, you'll actually affect, because of the roll-off, you're going to start affecting some of the other stuff down at the narrower band if you were to go to a narrow band receiver. So I'd leave it like it is. It's like pre-emphasis on a narrow band receiver. You're gonna help push a little bit of that audio through past the skirt of a narrow band receiver. If you leave it where it is, if you take it out, you may not be able to have that push.
Yeah, 10-4. Well, that's pretty much what I cater towards. I mean, 99.9% of the people that hear my radio are just standard bandwidth receive radios. Very rarely do I get a chance to talk to anybody that's got wideband receive, and I think you're one of a very small handful of people that I occasionally do. So, yeah, I'd target the normal bandwidth radios to try to get it to sound good to them, and if it sounds good to them, it may not sound excellent, on a really super wideband receive, but, I'd rather sound good to 100 people and not sound that great to one person rather than the opposite, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, then the frequency that you might want to pull down a little bit is 4473. If you go to 4473,